Welcome back on this lovely Tuesday morning. 680's Mike Epple joining us now to talk about business, the interest rate. What's going to happen with that? Tomorrow we're expecting a decision?
Yeah, okay. So right now, Melissa, to qualify for a mortgage, if you're a first-time home buyer or a high leverage borrower, the Bank of Canada and the federal government back in 2016 brought in what is known as the stress test. And that's a benchmark that you have to qualify to make sure that you can afford the payments if interest rates were to go up over the course of time. Well, at the time it was brought in actually to cool off the housing market because it was overheating, and the big worry was that people were taking on too much debt.
Okay.
That benchmark interest rate is currently at 4.94%, which is way above what you're probably going to be paying right now for an actual mortgage. Let's put that into perspective. But it's the threshold. You have to be able to prove to the banks, or whoever you're borrowing from, that you can pay at that level of interest just to make sure that, in fact, you can afford it if rates were to go up. So that's the backstory on this. That benchmark, though, is set to come down because what we've seen is interest rates, mortgage rates of the big banks come down dramatically.
Right.
The posted rate is 4.79. I'm seeing this morning you can get a 5-year mortgage for less than 2%.
Wow.
Which is historically low. So everything is adjusting. We've seen the housing market set records for prices and sales here in Toronto and in Vancouver. You know, this is just going to add more fuel to the fire potentially, with potentially allowing more buyers to come in. So does this overheat the housing market even further? It's going to be very interesting to see. But right now, it has never been cheaper to borrow. And that is certainly one of the things that has ignited the housing market over the course of this summer.
And looking to Ottawa, is there going to be a cabinet shuffle?
This is political intrigue at the highest. The Globe and Mail reporting this morning that the Finance Minister, Bill Morneau, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau have not exactly seen eye to eye on some of the COVID-19 relief efforts.
Okay.
You've got the WE charity issues into the mix here, with Mr. Morneau having to apologize for not recusing himself from the decision-making process, paying, cutting a check for $41,000 or thereabouts to pay back, this trip that he took with the family for WE overseas, and that whole imbroglio coming in. We don't typically see a cabinet shuffle that involves the finance minister specifically in the midst of what we're going on right now, but there is some talk about that. And then the other wrinkle to this is that the former Bank of Canada governor, Mark Carney, is back in the country. He was previously the Bank of England governor as well, and he's been brought on to be an unofficial advisor to the Prime Minister for the COVID-19 economic bounce back, so to speak. So there's also been talk about Carney, having political aspirations himself in the future. So it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes. It's something
I want to make sure we have some time to talk about. There's some breaking news out of Russia today, and that's having an effect on the markets already?
Yes. President Vladimir Putin proclaiming that Russia has the first COVID-19 vaccine registered after just 2 months of trials. His daughter has apparently taken this vaccine. And the markets, lit up when this news broke this morning. Right now, the Dow Jones is poised for a gain of close to 300 points. It's already been up 7 days in a row. So we're so excited about the idea of a vaccine from a global economic standpoint. We see the markets take off. And right away, though, the critics are caution is being sent by the medical experts saying, whoa, this has only been in development 2 months.
Well, we're going to
Russia has been accused. Yeah, Russia has been accused of data mining, hacking other global health agencies to steal information related to a vaccine development.
And we're going to have plenty more on that breaking news story coming up later in this morning.
It's quite remarkable.
Thanks so much for that, Mike.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. Over to you, Devo.
You too.